Interesting. And then what about your nutrition, the component along with that? How is that for you? Do you have someone helping you with that, or are you sort of just, used to doing it for yourself?
Usually my dad, honestly, my dad's been making sure that I've been eating clean. He's built that habit in me since I was a little kid. So still now, even when I'm out of camp, I'm not like strict like I have to, because obviously when I'm in camp leading up to a fight, I have like weight limits that I have to meet and certain things like that. But even out of camp, I still like pretty open.
So dad's like the real MVP here. He does it all.
Yeah.
So has he dedicated pretty much everything now to just you and your professional work? Is he doing other things on the side as well?
No, pretty much it's just like now he's at a point where it's just all the focus been on me.
Wow, incredible. And how's that been for, I'm assuming mom's like, obviously she's on board and everything like that, but what's been like the impact of that kind of on your family, like where you guys are going, just kind of like for your siblings and your mom?
No, it's definitely been a good impact on, it wasn't easy, like starting out, obviously putting like all that time in me without really getting like any reward out of it. But now like, everything's starting to pay off with like the different people that I meet, the way my name is starting to grow, me being signed to Floyd, everything is kind of like just starting to pay off now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure, like, not speaking from experience, but I think parents, like, they're like, it's okay, we'll do it regardless of whether it pays off. But how amazing is it for you to be able to say like, well, one day I will be able to say thank you in my way for all that time and support you gave me. Like, is that something you think about?
Yeah, something I think about, sure, like all the time. And I can't wait. It's definitely going to be like in the near future, and I can't wait till that day comes.
Yeah, it seems like it from, you're doing all the right things, is something that, I've heard, guys in the industry saying, like Joseph Brown's doing all the right things, you're in the right place. And I'm interested to know what kind of legacy you want to leave in boxing.
I want to leave a positive one for sure. At the end of the day, I don't want to be just like a regular champion. I want to be like the people's champion. Just be for everyone, to be honest, and just be the best that I can be at the end of the day. Yeah.
Have you experienced any, major setbacks or any moments of doubt that kind of, made you stop and think whether this was really what you wanted? And if so, how did you work through it?
I think everybody has, to be honest. I just come from having just like bad days at the gym. Sometimes you have a bad sparring session, you start questioning yourself, like, hey, like, is this for me? Like, but
yeah.
Other than that, nah. And that's just like, at the end of the day, you're gonna have bad days. Not every day is gonna be a good day. You just have to, recoup, not let it get to your head too much, and just keep working, keep moving forward.
Yeah. How do you do that? How do you sort of like train your mindset and kind of insulate yourself against, doubts that actually take quite a few people down? Like, self-doubt is something I think that sets a lot of athletes back from really achieving probably what their potential is. So what kind of like mental training do you do, or have you done, or is that something that's just innate to you?
I think that's something that's just in me. I've always had like a strong mindset since I was a little kid. And at the end of the day, I'm just focused on just training as hard as I can and getting better. I know as long as I'm giving my best, I'm always going to be constantly making progress. Every once in a while, like I said, bad day might pop up, but just get back on track. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Are there fighters out there right now that you would love to see a match set up with for yourself?
That I would like to fight?
Yeah. Who's on your radar?
No, I don't like doing too many call outs, but at the end of the day, when I get up there, I like to fight everybody. You know what I mean? I want all the belts, and I don't plan on ducking nobody. So once I get up there and it's my time for me to grab one of those straps, I'm willing to fight whoever to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to ask you if you're open to talking about it. It's just kind of like what sort of steps are taken. So, you're new to the roster of TMT. What kind of steps do they take to sort of prepare you? Like, do they do media training with you? Are there do you kind of have like conversations with management and your dad? And do they kind of give you a lay of the land as to like what to expect? Like, how does that whole process work? I think we have probably listeners who would love to know what that was like from your perspective.
They do to a certain extent. And then, it depends on, what you got coming up. On if they need you to do a whole bunch of media, they'll walk you through it, prepare you for it, or whatever type of contractual agreements you need to come to, they'll talk to you about it. And then also I just, do a lot of the preparing on my own too, because I know not everybody's gonna, sit down and teach me and walk me through how to do everything. So I just kind of try to prepare myself as best as I can for situations like that.
Right. So do you think it seems like you have a lot of like initiative, like, you have a lot of discipline and you take steps to do what's required on your own. Do you think that's like an important quality for fighters to have? Do you think that they have to be hungry and, take initiative for themselves?
Yeah, for sure. You have to be self-driven. You can only have everybody else push you so much. At the end of the day, you have to be able to do it yourself too. Because if you don't yourself want it bad enough, then it's not going to be the same.
Yeah. So, on that note, like what kind of advice would you give to, a young amateur, similar to yourself, thinking about turning pro and not really knowing where to start? Like what kind of advice would you give them?
I'd definitely say, don't rush into it. Get as much amateur experience as you can. I was one of the people that turned pro early, but that doesn't mean that it's for everybody. Some people, it's better for them to stay amateur for longer, and some people, it's better for them to turn pro early. So I just say, stay patient with it. Get as much experience as you can, and then when you like truly feel like you're ready, then you can slowly make that transition.
Amazing. Yeah, that's great advice. So I'd love to do some fight predictions with you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, sweet. So speaking of, we were talking about Jaron Ennis. So let's start there, shall we? He's versus Cody Crowley. Who do you have and why?
I have Boots in that one. I think his style is just made for Crowley. So and just being in the ring with him, I know what he's capable of, and I think Cody Crowley is also he's a great fighter, but I think Boots got that.
Okay, awesome. Let's go to Shakur and Artem. Who do you have and why?
I also got Shakur. I think also similar to Boots, just like his style is kind of just made for somebody like that. I think it's going to be really hard for Artem to really get inside and really do much because Shakur's defense is so good. So yeah, I got Shakur in that one.
Awesome. Okay, moving on. We've got Teofimo versus Claggett. Who do you have in that and why?
To be honest, I haven't seen much of Steve Claggett. I haven't seen much of him. So just because of that, I would say Teo.
Okay.
I think Teo's a great fighter though. I think sometimes different Teos show up, in his
he can be a bit
performances.
Inconsistent. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the best version of Teo is like one of the best out there. So I think he should be good.
Okay. Awesome. Another podcast guest that we had a few weeks back, we had Lamont Roach on the show. He's got a fight coming up against McCrory. Who do you have and why?
I have Lamont Roach. I think he's a great fighter. I've seen him fight once in person. I think this when he won that world title from Hector Garcia, and he's very good. So just from me seeing him right there, I think he got this one.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. We'll go to Davis versus Martin. That's coming up this weekend, or the 15th. Yeah, the 15th, I think. Who do you have and why? That's a big fight.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be more exciting than what people think it's going to be. But I do have Tank in that one. I think a lot of people, he's going to like run through Frank Martin. I think it's going to be a pretty competitive fight, but I think I still go Tank.
I think people that are saying that don't necessarily know much about Martin, because I think, Martin possesses the ability to give Davis a hard time, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think Davis will take that.
Yeah.
I'd love to get your thoughts on what we just saw this past weekend with the 5 versus 5 and the Deontay Wilder knockout, which was just weird and brutal. What did you think about that?
Well, I think the 5 versus 5 concept is pretty cool, and hopefully, I could be on, one of those one day. Yeah, it really did surprise me. Honestly, I thought Matchroom was gonna get that for sure, and ended up being like a clean sweep for Queensberry. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I wasn't expecting that at all, to be honest. But it was pretty entertaining and exciting. As far as Wilder, I mean, I think it's just time for him to hang it up. I wouldn't want to see him continue to take more unnecessary damage or punishment. He had a great career, and I think it's time for him to just stop.
Yeah, I think especially at that weight class too, like you get knocked out a few times with like a 70-pound weight difference even, and